The rain that night didn't just fall, it wept. It beat a steady, metallic rhythm against the worn-out chassis of Elara's car. A sound that echoed the cold, hollow drumming in her chest. She sat hunched behind the steering wheel in a dark parking lot, the heater spitting only lukewarm promises, watching.
You, at 35, had once defined herself by the warmth she created. She was an artist in a small, Midwestern way. Not with a brush, but with intention. She curated life. Her home, a cozy, mortgage-heavy bungalow, was always filled with the scent of cinnamon and the low, comforting murmur of jazz. She'd married Mark, a man whose charm was his greatest asset and eventually his most devastating weapon. Mark was a dreamer, the kind that spoke in grand, intoxicating futures while letting the present slip through his fingers. He had the easy confidence of someone who believed success was inevitable, even if he never showed up for it. For 10 years, Elara was the scaffolding beneath his dreams. She saw the potential. She managed the small, sporadic finances from his construction business, and she believed the stories he told her about their future. It wasn't until the bank letters started arriving, fat, stark white envelopes that she intercepted before he could see, that the scaffolding began to shudder.
The final shattering blow came not with a shout, but a whisper. A text message sent from a city 3 states away after 3 days of silence. "I can't do this anymore, Elara. The debt is too big. I'm starting fresh. Tell Lily I love her." It was the cowardice that killed the marriage, but the ensuing financial chaos that tried to kill Elara. Mark hadn't just left, he'd liquidated their joint savings, drained their equity line, and disappeared, leaving Elara holding a pile of predatory debt and the bewildered, searching eyes of their 7-year-old daughter. The home, the one filled with cinnamon and jazz, was gone within 6 months. The furniture, the memories, the illusion of a safe life, all auctioned off to pay for a lie. The move to the cramped second-floor apartment over a laundromat felt less like a fresh start and more like a retreat into a box. The air always smelled faintly of dryer sheets and despair. This was the place where the true, grinding tension began to build. Elara took 2 jobs. The first was at a corporate coffee chain, where the fluorescent lights hummed a high, irritating note and forced a plastic smile onto her face for minimum wage. The second, folding laundry at the laundromat downstairs after closing, was purely functional, a means to pay the gas bill and keep Lily in decent shoes. The exhaustion was a heavy cloak she couldn't shed. The emotional tension ratcheted up daily, not from dramatic events, but from the relentless, minute humiliations of poverty. One afternoon, a woman from Mark's old social circle, perfectly dressed and smelling expensively of gardenias, stopped by the coffee counter. "Elara, is that really you? Working here?" the woman, Sarah, had asked, her voice pitched in a tone of morbid pity. Elara forced the practiced smile. "It is, just covering a shift." Sarah leaned in, whispering, "Mark's mother told us. I'm so sorry about the mess. You know how men are with money." Elara didn't flinch. She simply wiped the counter, her voice flat and cold. "I don't, actually. I only know how a mother is with debt." That night, she came home to a notice taped to the door, the final warning before the utilities were shut off. It was too much. She sank onto the linoleum floor of the tiny kitchen pantry, pulled the door shut, and let the grief take her. It wasn't a loud, dramatic cry. It was silent, shaking, and agonizingly deep, the sound of a soul fracturing under pressure. She wasn't mourning Mark, she was mourning the woman she used to be, the woman who had enough energy to dream. She stayed there for 20 minutes until the silence of the apartment pulled her back. She stood up, her face wet, and walked into Lily's room. Her daughter lay asleep, one hand clutching a worn, stuffed rabbit. The lamp beside her cast a soft, forgiving glow on her face. Lily was oblivious to the financial tightrope they were walking, but her innocence was Elara's constant, searing indictment.
I have failed her. The thought was sharp as glass. But then another thought, fueled by the cold resolve forged in the dark pantry, surfaced. No, I am not done. That was the turning point. It wasn't a sudden burst of motivation, but a quiet, deep-seated refusal to let the script end there. Elara remembered the books. Years ago, before Lily, she had taken evening courses in web design. It was a skill Mark had laughed at, calling it cute hobby stuff. Now, sitting on the floor of the closet after Lily was asleep, the unforgiving blue light of her ancient laptop illuminating the dust motes, that hobby stuff became her lifeline. She started small, late nights, fueled by stale coffee and the fear of the bank account balance. She taught herself modern CSS, brushed up on her JavaScript, and created small, clean portfolio sites for local businesses. "Mama, why do you work in the closet?" Lily asked one morning, rubbing sleep from her eyes. She pulled out her work log. She had enough completed contracts to invoice one major client, a furniture store whose website she had just launched. It was $1,500. She pressed Send Invoice. Then she did something Mark never did. She picked up the phone. She called the client's owner, a gruff but honest man named Mr. Henderson. "Mr. Henderson, this is Laura Hayes from Blue Sky Designs," she said, her voice trembling slightly, but firm. "The site is live. I know your payment terms are 30 days, but my family is facing a small crisis. If there is any possible way you could process that payment early, even half of it, it would save us." There was a silence on the line so profound, Elara thought the connection had dropped. She braced for the cold rejection, the business as usual dismissal. Then Mr. Henderson spoke, his voice surprisingly gentle. "Ms. Hayes, you worked your tail off on that site. It's excellent. I'll cut the check for the full amount and have my driver bring it to your apartment in 2 hours. You don't need to be afraid to ask for what you've earned."
Elara knelt, meeting her gaze. "Because this is my office, sweetie. It's quiet, and it helps me focus on bringing in the sunshine." "Is it working?" Lily asked, a literal interpretation. Elara hugged her tight, inhaling the scent of her daughter's hair, part shampoo, part hope. "It's starting to, baby. It's starting to." The struggle intensified before it eased. The old car finally gave up during a freak late-season snowstorm. Elara had to use nearly all of her meager savings for a down payment on a battered but reliable used sedan. It felt like 2 steps back, a defeat, and she watched the money leave her account with a sickening dread. The deep emotional climax arrived on a Sunday afternoon. Elara was staring at a stack of bills, one for the car, one for Lily's school trip, and a past due notice from the landlord. Her body ached, her bank balance was negative, and she hadn't slept a full night in months. She felt the familiar pull of despair, the voice that whispered, "Go back to the coffee shop. It's safer. It's less pain." She took a deep, shuddering breath, staring at her reflection in the dark glass of the window. She saw not the defeated woman who had cried in a pantry, but a warrior hardened by necessity. She realized the money wasn't the problem. The fear of never being able to provide was. The line went dead. Elara stood there, the phone slipping from her fingers. It wasn't just the money. It was the unexpected kindness, the recognition of her effort, the sheer dignity of the transaction. She was not begging, she was asking for the acceleration of a debt owed for honest work. 2 hours later, she deposited the check. The sight of the positive number on the screen didn't make her rich, but it made her safe. She wasn't standing on the edge anymore. She was standing on solid ground she had built with her own 2 hands. The resolution wasn't a fireworks display or a lottery win. It was a slow, steady dawn. Elara didn't buy a mansion. She bought reliable shoes and paid off the last of Mark's predatory credit card debt. That felt better than any mansion. It was the feeling of a heavy chain snapping. Her little closet design studio, Blue Sky Designs, grew. She hired a part-time student to help with coding. She moved into a slightly better apartment where the rent was higher, but the heat worked perfectly and the air smelled only of clean. The powerful message Elara learned, the lesson forged in the solitude of the late nights, was that resilience isn't the absence of heartbreak. It is the choice to rebuild the foundation with the shattered pieces of your old life. Mark's betrayal had been a catastrophic ending, but it had also been the fire that burned away her dependence and revealed the bedrock of her own strength. The true value of a comeback isn't the wealth gained. It's the certainty that you can handle anything that is taken away. One evening, Elara sat on the couch, watching Lily draw, bathed in the quiet, warm glow of the living room lamp. The laptop was closed. "Mama," said Lily, looking up, "I think our house smells like sunshine now." Elara smiled, a genuine, unforced expression that reached her eyes. "It does, sweetie. It absolutely does." The rain still falls in that town, and the nights still get cold, but Elara no longer fears the darkness. She knows that in the depths of loneliness and betrayal, she found something indelible, her own capacity to endure, to create, and to protect. She discovered the singular, magnificent power of the single mother who simply refused to give up. The life she lost was an illusion, but the life she built is real, and it is entirely her own.